the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the San Francisco 49ers and the Buffalo Bills. With that, let's get up to Buffalo. Standing by at New Era Field, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Buffalo, New York. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the San Francisco 49ers and the Buffalo Bills. This will be taken very short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So here come the Bills on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by the 7th overall pick in 2018 from Wyoming. It's Josh Allen.
I loved his quote during the week. If I were a defensive back, I would have wanted to play against me last week as well. He's trying to eliminate those turnovers, those interceptions, and get back on the positive side of the ledger throwing touchdown passes.
Yeah, had 4 of those picks, led to the loss. This is caught by Williams. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the play under a heavy rush, and down he goes. DeForest Buckner, what a season he continues to have, his 15th sack of the campaign.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Allen. Got a man. It's Brown. It'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's 4th down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, of that marker. They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
They had a good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago. They're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, as he can really impact this offense. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Still a few inches short of a 1st down as they come up now on 2nd down. To the air again with Winston. They'll run the screen with Mack. And he is going to lose yardage here. And chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down. Now that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the 1st down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
On 2nd and 7, Allen throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to A.J. Brown that time, and that'll make it 3rd down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what we're going through, whether we're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now a give right side. Powell. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
They'll try and run for this with Mack. Now a flag comes in from the umpire after a gain of about 4. And this looks like it's going to be holding. So on the big tight end, hold it.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
Third and long for Winston. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. 15 for the Niners there and a first down.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
And he's got a first down as a tackle made at the Bills' 40. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they...
And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. That's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
On second down now, it's Mack. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. We're scoreless after one. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter. They're in the midst of a nice drive, but facing a third and long here. Working out of the gun, Winston. He wants it all for the end zone. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5, and he will take it out to the 25-yard line.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
So after the INT, it's Allen. Over the middle, complete. It's Rodriguez. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. The 20. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
From the 38, Winston. And that is incomplete.
The touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
The Niners on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Jameis to throw it. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. First down, San Francisco. The pickup, 14 yards.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did. Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Up to make the play defensively, Tre'Davious White.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. The Niners on third down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 9. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They'll run on first down. Jefferson. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
On 2nd down, Jefferson. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Buffalo. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball.
And across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. A great effort there. 76 yards as they are now on the board here in the first half.
Well, if the plan is to come in here and go toe-to-toe with these guys, it certainly does not hurt if you hit them with a big shot along the way, too.
That's got to give them some confidence. And the other thing right now, it quiets this crowd, at least for the time being.
Yeah, that is what is called the intended consequence of their actions.
And the Bills getting set to go. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
so
well.
else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Got a man. It's complete. Williams. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Allen trying to hurry everybody up to the line of scrimmage. Looking to throw again on second down. Allen. Nelson Aguilar, the intended receiver. Third down here.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And now the third down throw incomplete as well. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed, if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. And San Francisco gets set to go here. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You could never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now Winston. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down. Jameis now 11 of 17 passing thus far. He's got his guys a 1st and 10. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime.
Switch it. Come on, switch it. Let's go.
They'll throw again. Winston. And a big loss here as he's taken down. And now the Niners going to signal for their third and final timeout, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Winston from the gun on third down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. So now on comes the field goal unit. And wow, this is no ordinary try here. This will be spotted just shy of midfield. A 59-yard attempt.
Get ready.
And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
Now Allen. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. A final shot before half for Allen. He's airing it out for Williams. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. Not much has changed since we left you at halftime. The snow is still continuing to fall as we are back underway.
Let's go, fellas.
Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield.
Let's find out what they have dialed up. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, but it's going to be second down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Here's Powell. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He completes this one to Mack. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. A gain of 10 and a 49er first down.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before.
Good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Let's go, defenses. Get out the field, defense.
On first down, shy of the 40 at the 41. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Pass option. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. And he's got a first down as a tackle made at the Bills' 30.
This dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And he's got a first down as a tackle made at the Bills' 12-yard line.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
They'll run again. Again, it's Powell. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
A field goal would get him the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Winston. And a quick throw here that's complete. And across the chalk into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. A 14-yard touchdown. And the 49ers have now taken the lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. This will be fielded at the 8. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the 3rd quarter.
And they
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Bosa, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Throwing now is Allen. It's Williams on the catch. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both.
Allen hit. He lost the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And they will score. It's a 49er touchdown. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room. Boy, they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave him a comfortable lead.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 21-7. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And that last possession, really a gut punch. You seemingly had it working. You were in the midst of a very strong drive, and suddenly you fumble, and you're watching the back of a defender's jersey as he brings it all the way in the other direction.
There's not much more I can add to that. I thought you summarized it perfectly, partner. You just got to regroup and start putting another drive together. That's all you can do.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Allen going to throw. This will be caught by Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards the pickup there.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little
rush coming, and he's taken down. Josh Allen, the blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On 2nd down now, Jefferson. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Down here in the 3rd quarter, obviously that's one they could have used.
Yeah, and one of my favorite special teams coaches in the NFL told me what separates the kickers in the NFL versus the ones who are not is not the misses. It's the 2nd miss in a row. Best kickers in the league, they don't miss 2 in a row. He's got to get his head back together in case he gets another shot. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Winston. And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. Back now in Buffalo. It's 49er football here. They've got the lead as well as we get set to start the 4th and final quarter. The Niners on 3rd down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Now Winston. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 13 yards there and a Niner first. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Powell. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock. Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
To throw is Winston. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7.
Well, surprise, surprise. 1st and goal at the 1. No quarterback sneak. No running play. They decided to throw it for it, but the pressure got to them quickly and put the quarterback down.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. Here's Winston. Steps away to his left. And now he's going to use his legs. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down. They've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? From the gun, Winston. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. From the gun, it's Allen. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. It's a gain of 5. And it'll make it 2nd down. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. To throw, it's Allen. Throw left side complete. It's Rodriguez.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Allen's throw is complete, and he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
1st down, and they're going to throw with Allen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Bosa in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. The Bills on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. To the air, Allen. And a throw there going to be incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? You don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting. Not
into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 23.
You see me out here? That's right.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
On the draw, here's Powell. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. A gain of 10 and a 49er 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. A gain of 10 and a 49er first down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. They run with Powell. And a loose football. Now this is picked up by the Bills.
I don't care what the scoreboard says, partner. You know who's winning this game right now?
Mother Nature?
Yes, indeed. Precipitation's winning in a big way. Sloppy. All these turnovers right now.
Yeah, well, this was the forecast. We got what was forecasted, and we've gotten a lot of turnovers. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's...
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And into the end zone. A pick six for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Here's Allen. Allen hit. He lost the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And his guys will take over at the 14-yard line in the red zone. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So another score there. Often you talk about the three phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over. The other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
They're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen, and that is incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and that will come the offense as they take over. The 49ers getting set to trot out there. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And he'll take it across midfield and into Buffalo territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, it's Powell. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. So the victory here for San Francisco.